Hello everyone, we're back making another video since we haven't made one in a long time because we're always doing something. But today we're going to talk about the election 2012, which everyone is talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype this year. There's a lot of people exercising their right to vote, whereas in the past years, not a lot of people have actually went down to vote. Whereas this year, there's a lot of debate about it, so we wanted to kind of talk about the way that we felt about the election and certain standpoints of both political parties.
Okay, we'll start with Obama. So, Obama, he won in 2008, couldn't vote, wasn't old enough. But he basically wants to bring the country forward. He wants to give everyone better health care, not free health care, but better options than they had before. He wants to basically help the people, make everyone pay their fair share in taxes. He wants to make women's right to choose when she gets
On abortion.
if she wants to get an abortion. And
preventative measures,
birth control, and gay marriage. He wants to make it so, well, he believes that every gay person should be married. And even though he might not be able to legalize gay marriage, the fact that he believes that everyone should be married is a good thing. And he wants women's pay to be equal with men, since he has daughters of his own and he can feel what everyone else. He can, like, sympathize and empathize with everyone else, like women, even though he's a man. And
he has a lot of women in his family, so he understands.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Mitt Romney, who wants to basically reverse everything. He thinks that Obama is making it so people can be lazy, giving them free money.
Whoa, let's stop for a minute.
Well, let me just finish what he wants to do.
Okay, whatever.
He wants to. He's saying that Obama's making it so people can be lazy. They don't have to work. He's giving them
that everybody's
free
getting
money.
handouts.
And he's saying that women. He basically doesn't care about women's rights. He wants to reverse Roe versus Wade, which was done way back a long time ago, which gave women right to choose if they wanted to have abortions. It wasn't just dictated by the government. He wants to basically give a voucher in the healthcare system, and he says he wants to create jobs. Doesn't say how. And he wants to give tax cuts. He wants to give tax cuts to the rich, among other things. But those
the rich
are
are already sliding by pretty easy. Like, they already don't get much taken out of their taxes. Like, he himself has he pays very low taxes.
He has a Swiss bank account, so he didn't have to pay taxes.
I heard that he has some in the Caribbean too.
Yeah.
He has basically other accounts in other countries, so he doesn't have to pay taxes
and then
here.
He won't release his tax records. So right there is a sign that he's very secretive. You don't really know what he's going to do. And people get upset because they're saying, well, Obama, he's making it so that people don't have to work. People on welfare don't have to work.
First off, time out. One thing that Romney is basing his whole pitch is on the whole deficits. We're going into debt concept, where, Obama is, he's making us go into debt, and he spent, $4 trillion or however much money in the 4 years that he's been in office. And people, that's kind of like a scare tactic that he's using so that people won't vote for Obama. There's even a statistic that says that, half of the voters that are voting for Romney, it's not because they genuinely believe in his plan, it's because they don't want Obama to be in office any longer.
Yeah, and so some of it's based on racism. Yeah. Like Obama, they're saying, like, his health care is reparations for slavery. Like, he's just giving money back for being in slavery. And that's, like, it just goes to show that the slave times and the civil rights still is evident today, because people are still in that mind frame of, like, racism and black versus white because we have a black president. People don't want to vote for him.
Well, I wanted to talk about the whole debt thing. Like, debt, America's been in debt for many, many, many years, hundreds of years. You know, it's not a new thing, you know, and by taking more taxes out of the wealthy
we had
people,
surpluses when Clinton was in office.
Well,
but it kind of went down because we had the Great Depression. Then it got better, like Clinton, we had like surpluses and all that stuff. Then with Bush, it went down. It's still down. And when the Wall Street crashed and all that shit. So,
but it's not a new thing, point blank, period. You know, America's always been in debt, and they're going to continue to be in debt. Now, which seems to be with the Republican Party, is that their main focus is just about the money. Well, if you're voting for Mitt Romney, if you're a middle-class American, the money's not going to you. It's going to, you know, upper-class Americans who are making, supposedly, his whole pitch applies to wealthy families, which make supposedly over $200,000 a year, which I hate to tell you is not most of America. So if you are going into it thinking that you're going to get more money each year because he's going into office, I'm sorry to tell you that you're not. You know, and one of the things about Obama is that he wants to make sure that the people that are making more money each year are paying their fair share, whereas the little people, right now, the way the economy is set up, the little people are paying more than the people who make more money, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, how are we supposed to live and survive? And by taking the money out of the people who are making more money, it's going to help to create jobs. It's going to help to give the money back to the middle class and the people who are poor. Whereas, you know, Mitt Romney's whole approach is, the funny thing about he has a 5-point plan and all this bullshit, which on TV, when he's addressed on these issues, he can't even answer the questions. When he was asked how he felt about women's fair pay, and I watched a video of him talking about that, and the way that he said, we watched it yesterday, he made it seem like women were aliens. Like, he kind of made it seem like, oh, well, I worked with a few women in my day, so I know that they want to get home early.
I have women friends.
Yeah. I have women friends. I think a couple of my friends are married to women. You know, and he made it seem like, I don't know, like not an equal. Like we were much lower than him. He was like, my experience working with women is that they need to have a flexible schedule because they like to go home early at 5 to go make dinner for their kids.
Like, it's not all about just making, like, dinner. It's like...
Well, that goes back to the fact that he's a Mormon. You know, and the Mormon, and their beliefs is that the man is basically, he goes, gets the bacon, you know, brings it home. The woman is supposed to fulfill whatever needs the man has. You know, come home, clean. She actually is not even supposed to work. Clean, cook, take care of the kids. You know, women don't really have any say. And in my opinion, his wife is probably a good representation of that, because being married to someone like that, like, you have to be a pushover.
Yeah, and like, the women, they said women who are married are in upper class are more likely to vote for Romney. Middle class to lower class who are single are more likely to vote for Obama. And the reason I think that is because Obama's plan for, like, you have the right to choose, or abortions, contraceptives.
They think that doesn't apply to them.
Yeah, like the married woman's like, oh, well, I'm in a relationship, I'm married, I'm not going to get raped.
This is never going to happen to me.
I don't need to worry about getting raped. I don't need to worry about contraceptives. I'm monogamous with one person, we already have kids, or whatever.
Well, like, let me tell you something. There's a lot of stories. There are, you know, a lot of bad people in this world. Do you think they care what your marital status is? There's been stories of people who have worked in damn daycares that have gotten raped by people. You know, people have just come up like, what are you going to do when your kid is walking home from school off the bus and they get raped by a stranger? You know, how are you going to feel about it then? Are you still going to want Romney in office? And all you can do about it is say, well, it was part of God's plan. You can't do anything about it now.
Like, do you really want your kid to be pregnant by a stranger? Like, you're not free from anything.
And then it's like, okay, what if that baby's going to have AIDS? What if you've been infected by AIDS, you know, and from the person that raped you, what if that baby's going to have AIDS, you know, and God forbid, you know, that happens to anybody. I'm not saying that that's a reason to abort a baby, but that's not the kind of baby that you want to bring into this world. Somebody that it happened like that.
Like you're not gonna love the child. Like it's not something that was created out of love. Like it's not a good situation. And basically, Romney wants to revert. He said that he wants to divorce all gay couples that are already married. Like he doesn't believe in gay marriage.
And there are a lot of people out there that are going to say, yeah, well, you know, gay marriage is unconstitutional. And, like, all that bullshit. Like, you guys are relying... I'm not an atheist, by the way. I'm more agnostic. You know, I have family that's very strict Catholic, that's very, like, by the book. And then I have family that's not so much, a little more relaxed. And, you know... I wish that you guys would have, not you guys as in, you know, the world, but basically people who are homophobic, you wouldn't think the same way if you had the same kind of rights that we did. And it's really ridiculous being that there's nothing different about gay people than there are straight people. It's their sexual orientation.
Like, we still do the same things. We still want to have a family. We still love each other. We still, like... come home, cook dinner. We still have jobs. We still
That's
do
not
everything.
to say that if we have a kid, it's not going to be made out of love the same way that your kids are. If anything, we appreciate the values much more, meaning that we have to do so much more. Like, if I want to get married, I can't even get married in the state that I live in. I have to fly out of state to go and do all that. You know how much money and time and effort that is? Whereas... heteros, they have so much freedom.
They can go down to the
do anything they want
tomorrow. Like if we were a straight couple, we can get married tomorrow in the courthouse. We wouldn't have anything.
How would you feel if you couldn't? You've been with somebody for 15 years that you care about. You can't get married because your sexual orientation. What if you were already married and Romney took office and he said, "Well, you guys are getting a divorce just because I don't like the way that you guys look in public."
No, it's not.
What sense does that make?
Romney is just making it okay for people to be homophobic, racist, and all that stuff. And we're not trying to
And he's endorsing racism in certain states, especially along the border, along Mexico. Those states, I ever heard Arizona and some following cities around, or states around that area. You know, he's making it so that it is legal to have prejudice against certain, you know, certain ethnicities and certain sexualities, like,
and it really just, like, blows my mind how people, like, women, the women who vote for him, we already talked about that, but, like, the people, like, the minorities, the gay people,
that really
they want to vote for Romney.
That really fucking
because,
blows
like,
my mind.
there's this pastor on TV, he's black, he's like, I'm not voting for Obama because he endorses gay marriage. Like, you're gonna, like...
You're black. You're gonna get the same treatment.
I'm not saying, like, black people should all vote for Obama because he's black. I'm not saying
it's not about the racial
I'm just
issue.
saying that just because
I'm saying with Romney,
he believes that gay people should get married, so you're not voting for him. Like...
That's the only reason why. You don't even, I mean... The whole Romney plan is a big secret, you know?
You don't know anything, like... He goes back on his standpoint just based on...
It's like he has to backtrack on everything he says. And what's really, like, mind-boggling is that he says that he's going to create 12 million jobs. However, in the debate, he said that president and... What was it? I think it's maybe just president. Does not create jobs. So how are you promising jobs to people when you don't even have the authority to do that? Yes, you are the highest ranked person in America. However, you said yourself that you can't create the job.
And then he's like, I don't, like, Americans think they're entitled to health care, housing, food, all that.
They are entitled to. That's human rights.
And he's saying it's not my responsibility to worry about them. So it already shows that he's anti-humanitarian. I just think it's going to be, if he wins, which he's not, I think that it will be another George Bush times 4, just worse.
And then it's like, you know, at least, okay, Obama, yeah, he might not have done everything that he said he was going to do. He's a fucking person. Like, do you understand how much pressure he has on him to do? He has basically to fix everything that's happened to America in the last, 8 years. No one person can do that. But he's done a lot of things, even more than he said that he's going to do since he's been in office.
He reversed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He killed Osama bin Laden. He helped with the healthcare. He, like, created a lot of jobs, even though people say he didn't. Like, he's done a lot.
It's proven that the amount of jobs that have been created since he's been in office, like, have went up. There are more employed people. It's below 7% is unemployed now.
And then that's I heard this guy on the bus. He was saying that his company couldn't give bonuses at all when Bush was in office. And just this year, like, his company's been able to give bonuses to people because they have had more money. The company has been doing better. You know, it's a gradual change. It doesn't change overnight. He can't do everything overnight. And I say, like, the people who say he hasn't done shit, you go in there and you try to do all that shit. And
like, you give Bush 8 years and you only give him 4 when he's done double what fucking Bush did. You know, like
he's gotten troops out of the wars, and he's brought people home, and he's just done so much, and people don't.
Yeah, he's borrowed money, but he's made more jobs. This is the first time in my life where I've actually, it may sound bad, but I've been able to turn down jobs. I couldn't get a job for the longest time. Ever since the time I was 16, my mom had been pushing, get a job, get a job, get a job. It didn't matter. I've had people who had college degrees, couldn't get a fucking job. Now, I don't know so many people that don't have jobs. Like, I've actually had a few jobs myself just this year, you know, and another thing that he's doing is he's trying to make it so that people can go back to school, which is a good foundation to have, you know, in this country. It's very important to have an education. If you don't have an education, you're never going to get anywhere in life. Whereas Romney, the way that he feels about college is just, Go borrow money from your parents. I know
damn well my parents would not give me fucking how much money it costs to go to school. Like, my dad, he had, like, last year, like, at my old school, I went to University of San Francisco. I had everything basically paid for with my financial aid package. I just had to pay, like, $1,500 for, like, the meal plan or something. My dad had a hard time paying for that, and I know damn well my parents, grandparents would not pay for my fucking whole education. So, like, he's just seeing it from his perspective. Like, he probably could pay for his kids' education out of pocket. Not everyone else can. That's what I'd say.
Like, his plan is only going to make the rich richer. And if you think you're rich and you think that you're going to benefit from him being elected, I highly suggest you do your research. Mm-hmm. You know, his plan is not helping anybody, let alone does he even have a set plan, because he can't even answer questions about his own plan. You know, he's been cross-examined many, many, many times, and he can't even answer, you know, he treats us like monkeys. The way that he went about his whole plan, money-wise, you know, what is he going to do for America? And he said, well, I can't discuss it because you wouldn't be able to understand it. You know, like people, is that the kind of president that you want to have?
Just wake up, everyone. That's what I just had to say, you know.
Everybody's brainwashed by TV, you know, TV stations like Fox News. Newsflash, Fox News is fucking biased. You know, if you're watching shit like that, of course they're not going to say anything fucking positive about Obama.
Yeah.
You know, everybody just believes what they want to watch on TV. Well, I'm sorry. Half of America needs to do their damn research.
You know, it's not like we just like Obama because he's black, he did that. I looked at both sides. Before I voted, I was like, I actually, like, looked at Romney, and I was like, no, I'm not going to vote for him because he's not going to represent me. Obama would have a greater likelihood of representing me, you know?
And the thing is that I used to be one of those people that said everything negative about Obama. You know, I'm obviously not a racist, being that I am in an interracial relationship as well as a homosexual relationship. I don't have any form of bias towards anybody. But I used to say that, you know, Obama was only going to win because he's black and blah, 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 everything else negative. And honestly, after, you know, I started doing my research and looking into things, I can't picture having someone else, you know, in the White House just because of the fact that they're white. You know, and that doesn't mean that I'm racist against white people. Obviously, you see the color of my skin, you know, but I was one of those people that, you know, naysayers, and I said everything possible because I didn't want him in office before. But, you know, I honestly don't really feel like it's the best thing for America to have Romney in office. And like we were saying, you know, minorities, homosexuals, women. Why would you even put your vote in for Romney? What do you think you're going to get out of that? Like, gay people in the LGBT community voting for Mitt Romney.
Like, he hates you. Like, he hates your fucking guts. Like, if he came across you, he would not like you. Just on the fact that you're gay. He wouldn't give a shit about you. Like, he doesn't like gay people. He said it. He doesn't believe in it. He doesn't even see, like, he doesn't care about gay people.
All he wants is the money. He's just a bloodsucker. You know, he's trying to get as much money as he possibly can. You know, he's taking it from the little people, from the people who can't really afford it, and giving it back to the wealthy people. You know, what fucking economy is that we have?
Alright, well, we've been talking for like 21 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't want to ramble in this video, but I see that it did get a little bit long. I'm very sorry, and we really do appreciate everyone who sat and actually listened to our opinion. And I know there are going to be, you know, some of you that are going to go and talk shit underneath this fucking video. That's fine, because this is America and you do have freedom of speech. But just know that, you know, the candidate that we're voting for is not because of the fact that he's black or, you know, any other reason. It's because we genuinely believe that he will help humanity and America. That's why we made this video.
Okay, feel free to talk shit. It's your, like I know someone who said this in their video. They're like, it's your fingers, it's your buttons, it's your keyboard. You can type whatever you want, but, you know, that's your opinion. This is our opinion, so. Alright.
Anyways.